Hi, I'm Chris Savos, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to Proficiency One's free course, An Insider's View on Being a CIA Analyst. I'm going to share some insights from my 22-year career at the Central Intelligence Agency to give you a better sense of what life is like as an agency analyst, whether it would be an attractive career for you, and if it does sound good, how you can increase your chances of getting hired. I used to give this course live on college campuses and always received a very enthusiastic response, so I'm confident you'll find it enlightening. I still regularly talk about life as an analyst to graduating students, young professionals seeking a career change, and military professionals transitioning to civilian life. So I know the types of questions you probably have, and I'm going to answer them all here. When I was growing up, there was almost nothing in the public domain about agency analysts, so I didn't know they existed, let alone know what they did. Agency clandestine operators were, and still are, frequently portrayed in movies and books, but I never heard about analysts until I read about Jack Ryan in my first Tom Clancy novel. I didn't really have a sense of the job at all until I became an analyst in 1993. Spoiler alert, it turned out to be nothing like what Jack Ryan did in the Clancy books. After the 9/11 attacks and the misassessment of Iraq's weapons of mass destruction program, public and popular media scrutiny of the role analysts play in U.S. national security in general, and the intelligence process in particular, increased dramatically. Suddenly, there were articles everywhere about what analysts did, and unfortunately, very few of them were complimentary. Not surprisingly, most of them were written by people with no direct experience as analysts, so they painted a picture that was often as inaccurate as it was unflattering. Since then, the amount of available information about agency analysts on the internet and the media has exploded. Some of the information is accurate and helpful, but a lot of it is garbage. One of the best sources of information on analysts is the agency's own website, but it not surprisingly provides a straightforward description without much editorialization. That's where this course comes in. I'll augment all the other information out there with my personal insider's perspective of what analysts really do, the good and the bad of the job, and how to become an analyst if it sounds like for you the good outweighs the bad. I'll mix in plenty of experiences from my career to illustrate my points and hopefully to make for a more interesting and entertaining hour or so of your time. Before I get into any of that, however, I want to tell you right up front what you won't be getting from me, and that's secrets. Every agency employee signs an oath of secrecy at the start of their career, and I take mine very seriously. So if you're a foreign intelligence officer signing up for my course to get some new and exploitable bit of information about the CIA, you will be disappointed. If, however, you're looking for a much better understanding of agency analysts, then you've come to the right place. I'm also going to provide another important disclaimer before we start. Everything I'll be sharing reflects opinions that are solely my own. The CIA has neither endorsed nor approved my message. However, its pre-production classification review board did certify that I have not included any classified information here, submitting my script to them as a requirement of that secrecy vow I mentioned. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, here's what I will be covering in this course. First, I'm going to talk about the different types of analysts, the characteristics they all have in common, what they do, and what an average day looks like. Then I'll cover all the things I loved about in my career, and perhaps more usefully for you, all the things I found challenging and frustrating. I'm just as interested in turning away people who would be a bad fit for the agency as I would attracting people who would be a good fit. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the hiring process, what it takes to get hired, and how you can improve your chances of getting hired. I'm going to start off the course next, however, by talking a little bit about my personal background to give you some context to the remarks I'll be making for the rest of the class. So welcome and enjoy the class. Thanks for coming.